Hey dogs, what games do you guys want to do today? Do you want to record some bullshit from Treasure? Want to do something like Riley? You want to do some bullshit games from Treasure? No? Okay, and Kaylee, do you want to do some bullshit from Treasure? Why does the couch look so terrible? What is that? Man, that couch looks bad. I live like this? That's fucked up. How about we review Treasure games and then a Neo Geo game? Alright, cool. This so far has been the most tedious video to make, as I've had to flip-flop around on what I want to review and put multiple hours into multiple games and gave up on 2 out of 3 of them. I didn't want to do another shmup because I don't want to pigeonhole myself as a shmup channel, even though I would love to do that because it's my favorite genre, but there are other channels like Bullet Heaven and Shmup Junkie that already do that way better than I ever could. I also don't want to focus too much on one single console since I've got so many different consoles to choose from because I'm living the dream, and since I haven't done anything yet on the Sega Genesis, I decided I would be reviewing a game from that console, but not Musha, even though I really want to. I just can't let myself do another shmup quite yet because I've been a bad boy and I need to be punished. Then I thought of the developer Treasure, and I remembered playing Gunstar Heroes and really liking it, but I know that's a popular game and one that's been reviewed to death, so I figured I would take a look at their lesser known game, Alien Soldier. Fun, right? Not really. On paper, the game sounds awesome. You're a giant birdman that fights a ton of different bosses, and it's notorious for its difficulty. What isn't so awesome or obvious is why the game is so difficult. Alien Soldier was released in 1995, which is 2 years after the introduction of the Genesis 6-button controller. This game ignores the fact this controller exists and instead insists on having what I would consider perhaps the world's worst control scheme of all time, which you can see on the screen here if I'm actually paying attention and doing my job editing this, and it is embarrassingly bad, and of course, there's no way to change the control setup, and it destroys any hope this ever had of being a good game. After spending an hour or so with the game, I gave up on it and I will never play it again because it sucks all the ass. And that's unfortunate because it looks awesome. The idea of the game is awesome, but the mechanics are broken as hell. The fact that you can't just push one button to change your weapons, which I'll touch more on in a bit, and instead have to open a weapon wheel and select your weapon from that, even though all 4 weapon choices are displayed in neat little boxes right next to each other on the top of the screen, just begging for an easy weapon select function that you will never get, makes the entire setup clunky and annoying, and the game does not slow down or stop while you change weapons from this shitty wheel, which basically makes this game impossible for anyone that doesn't feel like putting in 5 or 6 hours just getting used to the controls. I'm sure it's a real blast once you do, but that's just bad game design. A game like this should not be that ridiculous to pick up and play. There are some games that do this way better, which coincidentally, I might just be talking about one later in this review, and spoiler alert, it's not Dynamite heady. If I had to compare this game to something, I'd put it this way. Today I washed my shoes, right? So they're all wet and drying by my front door. I then realized I have to go to the store to get Diet Caffeine-free Coke for my vodka sodas I'm about to be enjoying while I attempt to record this voiceover and hopefully finish before I get too drunk to do it, and I don't have any dry shoes, so I had to go out in public wearing Crocs. That's what this game is like. It's like wearing Crocs in public buying Diet Caffeine-free Coke at a gas station. On a side note, for anyone watching this, if you haven't noticed yet in my videos, by the end of them, the quality of my voice work declines sharply. And that's because I drink as I record these scripts. Just a little fun fact for you. Go ahead and check out my other videos after this. You'll see it. I'm not ashamed. Anyway, I know Alien Soldier has its fans. I'm aware that Joe from GameSack said once you get used to the controls, it's a good game. And I love Joe from GameSack, I really do, but you know what else has its fans? Scat porn. And that doesn't make it great, it just means people will like anything. There are people on Earth right now that like eating shit, like human shit. Does that mean eating shit is good? No, it means those people are fucking freaks and this game sucks. And I'm mad I wasted my time on it when I could be reviewing a game that's actually good, or at least one I can complete. Not that that's all I want to do on this channel, like only review good games, but this game is so bad I can't get through enough of it to form an actual lengthy review, aside from just offering a little bit of constructive criticism before moving on, although this review is already long as fuck, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. I should just end the video here. Look, last thing I want to say is this, okay? This was released 2 years after the 6-button controller. There is no excuse for it to not at least offer the option to use those extra buttons for those that have it. I'm just going to spitball real quick, right off the top of my head, how this game could have been way better, so I'm not just talking shit without any constructive criticism. Alright, allow the player to adjust the controls first of all. That was an idea that existed when this game released in Jesus Christ. When this game released... Wow. Oh my god. When this game released in 1990, wow, that just really fucked up my game. Jesus Christ. Alright, look. Just allow the player to adjust the controls, alright? That existed when this game came out in 1995, and I will touch on this in a few moments. Don't you worry, we'll come back to this, because when I look at Dynamite Heady, it'll be impossible not to. And like I said previously, instead of pulling up a weapon wheel with the A button and then selecting your weapon, since you can only have 4 weapons anyway, just push the A button to scroll through them on the fly. That would be easy and efficient. Second, instead of pushing down and A to change between run and gun or stay put and fire, allow the player to just hold the button above fire. In the default scheme, it would be the Y button to stand still and fire, and release the Y button to run and fire. Easy, right? Instead of down and C to slide, assign slide to its own button like X or Z or a shoulder button. This isn't rocket science. Treasure really fucked up the bare essentials on this game, and I stand by my opinion that this game is unplayable strictly because of its control scheme. So, I quit this game, and assuming it was a fluke, as Treasure is a well-known and respected company, I wanted to stick with Treasure and play one of their other games, so I moved on to Dynamite Heady. Now, this game was released before Alien Soldier, so I'm hoping that Treasure didn't make the same mistakes with this, and they didn't, which is weird. It would be like parents raising their first kid right and fucking up the second kid. That doesn't normally happen. First off, they allow you to change the control layout, so obviously they know that this is an option that exists. So it makes it even more perplexing as to why they didn't allow you to do this with Alien Soldier, but I guess they just had a vision and you can't fuck with that. But after changing the controller layout, I started this, and I liked it much more than the previous game I wasted my life playing. However, after getting about 75% through the game, the level of difficulty was so ridiculous, and the "what the fuck do I do" factor went through the roof. Plus, the game only gives you a very gracious 2 continues per playthrough, which is ridiculous, and basically makes this game impossible for a new player or any player in general. I cheated my way through this one using save states with the EverDrive, only saving at the start of each level and only loading my save state when I died, so I wouldn't have to restart the game because of a lack of continues, and I still couldn't get through this game. I don't understand what developers had against the idea of their customers actually finishing their game back in the 90s, but boy did they ever have a problem with that. Now, I know someone is already planning on saying something about the rental market in the United States, reducing game sales or whatever. I don't give a shit, just let me do my thing here. If I didn't use save states, I would have had to play this game from the start maybe 50 times to get through it, and in this modern day and age, that is just unacceptable. Like, I'm a good-looking single man, and people tell me I'm handsome all the time. I've got 2 gorgeous dogs, I'm a catch, and it's frustrating because I've got shit to do. I'm starting to see a pattern here, and that pattern is that I'm a fucking Adonis, and Treasure as a developer sucks at making games, and that's my bottom line. After hours of frustration playing through these atrocities, I gave up and started a game I knew would be awesome without having ever played it before. I didn't exactly want to review a game on the Neo Geo again quite yet, even though I love everything about that console and its games. I've just already reviewed Windjammers recently and wanted to offer more variety on my channel, but Treasure forced my hand here because I've got a deadline and I've run out of ideas on what to play tonight since my original option and its follow-up both fell through, and when I'm down to a time crunch and literally have thousands of games to pick from, it's more difficult than you might think. So hell yeah, motherfucker, I picked Metal Slug 4 because it's going to be awesome. I played through half of the Metal Slug games on the Neo Geo already, and I've loved every single one, so I decided to briefly review a run and gun that I knew would be done properly to at least end this video on a somewhat positive note. I was planning on never reviewing a Metal Slug game on this channel because everyone already knows that they kick ass. I mean, this is what a game is like when everything is done right, and it was so much fun to just pick this one up and play after the absolute shitfest of Treasure games I just tormented myself with. Playing those treasure games was like listening to Aaron Lewis, the lead singer of Stained, bitch about how his parents are mean to him while he's like 40 years old for 4 hours. It's like you haven't had to deal with your parents for like 22 years, dude. Get the fuck over it. If Alien Soldier just played similar to this one, it would have been so much better. I don't know how Stained got mixed up in this, but they did. We just got to deal with that and we got to move on. Metal Slug as a series is the type of series that you give affection and treats to in front of the bad games Treasure creates to make them jealous. I've avoided reviewing any of the Metal Slug games up to this point because, as anyone who's played them knows, it's just almost too easy to do. Like, here's the deal. You move with the joystick and the game is responsive as hell. No problems there. There's a button to fire, a button to throw a grenade, a button to jump, and that's all you need. You pick up power-ups and they are applied for a time limit, then they go away. Everything works the way it should, and the game looks outstanding. You just fuck up enemies, slice them up with a knife, blow them up, set fire to them while they scream in agony, puke blood on them, blow them up with a tank, and just murder them every way you can. You won't find any series that looks as good as this, period. Maybe some fighters on the Neo Geo come close, but goddamn, I don't even know, as I record this, what footage I'm showing. It doesn't matter because I know it looks fucking incredible. It does all the talking for me, which is good because I'm getting too drunk to talk. So that was easy. Metal Slug 4, play it. Any Metal Slug game, play it. If you see a game with the Treasure logo on it and it isn't Gunstar Heroes, don't play it. Boom. There's a review for you.